As a nurse, Sarah Walgie has shouldered more than her share of the pandemic.
You're working 60 to 110 hours a week, and I know that's just not myself, it's a bunch of colleagues as well.
In addition to being a public health nurse, Walgie is a psychiatric nurse in Oakville, Ontario. Encountering more patients with urgent mental health crises eventually became too much.
I was having quite a lot of abdominal pain, quite a lot of fatigue as well. You just felt chronically tired, and that's coupled with burnout.
After cutting back on her work week, she felt guilty.
I shouldn't be burnt out this early in my career. I shouldn't be going through this. So then that aspect of guilt weighs in, where it's like, I don't want my colleagues to have to ever go through this.
Especially in a healthcare system that's chronically understaffed nationwide. Before COVID-19, there were signs of improvement. The number of regulated nurses in Canada actually increased by 1.9% between 2018 and 2019 to a total approaching 500,000. But the pandemic is producing troubling stats. In a survey of 2,100 nurses conducted in Ontario in February, almost all respondents reported stress from the pandemic. And at least 13% of registered nurses aged 26 to 35 said they're very likely to leave the profession after the pandemic is over. That's 4 times the normal rate of attrition for that age group.
I get many phone calls at night because I am a representative of our union in our site, and they're crying. The nurses are going home crying.
The Ontario Nurses Association says the province has the lowest nurse-to-patient ratio in Canada. Labour unions say the Ford government's promise to improve healthcare staffing is undercut by other realities, like wage restraints on current employees.
They're limited this year to a 1% wage increase under law. That doesn't apply to police. It doesn't apply to fire. It doesn't apply to paramedics or other essential service workers. It applies to them.
Walgie says some colleagues on the front lines of the pandemic have been overwhelmed to the point of taking their own lives. She's feeling better these days, hoping Canada turns the corner on the pandemic soon, once and for all. Ross Lord, Global News.